Pause for dramatic effect. And what's happening, everyone? We are back again with the White Noise podcast, and we're down a man again. So it is just your boy Zach with your boy Analog Rick. The more advanced electronic Rick is in for service before the 100% tariffs on computer chips that are coming down that we just read about literally about 2 minutes ago.
He's shopping for a computer.
Yeah. If you're shopping for a computer, go now. If you're shopping for anything with any sort of processor in it, which means almost fucking everything, including your refrigerator, go grab one because it's time. and that's why Eric is in for service. For real though, I have no idea why he's not here. He probably doesn't like us anymore. And Rick and I are fairly certain he's quiet quitting the podcast. You know, as millennials and whatever the hell his generation is wont to do. So instead, it'll be just us. We're going to be here to sing you sweetly into sleep, into slumber. I assume this is a evening podcast because you mistakenly came across it when you were looking for actual white noise podcasts that just play white noise. But we're just white guys making noise, and we're gonna, and we're going to kick this one off talking about the presidential fitness test and how it is back. Is back and better than ever, except for the part where you have to sit and reach. When I saw that box come out, your boy was in hell. My hamstring's always been tight. So,
Yeah.
this is a fitness test for anyone not familiar. This is a fitness test that was retired in 2013. Um, and Donald Trump is bringing it back. He thinks it's going to make the kids less fat, and we're here to tell you why it's not. Um, so yeah, Rick, tell the people why the presidential fitness test is stupid.
So before I get into that, I will say when I saw this in the notes, I imagined Trump doing pull-ups and sit-ups and running, and I was just like, what the fuck is this about? But then I read a little bit more into it. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember doing this in school. I just didn't know that it was called that. And look, it didn't work the first time. People are
Yeah.
fat that went through this, and instead of focusing on arguably the bigger part of childhood obesity, which is nutrition, they decided to just make them run a mile and do a couple pull-ups and sit-ups and whatever. And it's not effective, turns out.
Yeah, that's the thing is, I mean, and look, I guess having some sort of standards for fitness, like I get it. You want the kids to be healthy, and I'm fully supportive of people being healthy, you know. But the- it's just a thing. There's a few layers to this. One of them is this is absolutely wild coming from Cankles McGee up there, like that he thinks the kids are fat when he's lying. Like this dude has more body images than a teenage girl to begin with. I mean, the dude wears makeup and he puts it on worse than a lot of the high school girls that I went to school with when they were learning how to do it. Like this dude can't blend for shit. I think I could blend my makeup better than this dude. He's fat as shit so much that he has to lie about his height and his weight and his overall health, and then his cankles are the size of baseball bats. And now we have this. So, I mean, I don't know. He couldn't pass it. He would just about die. Um, the other thing is that, like you said, it doesn't work. Like it doesn't appear to work. You know, it. I went to school with overweight kids that had trouble with these tests, and the fact that these tests existed doesn't make sense, or it didn't make them lose any weight or anything like that. And it also, I think, kind of a lot of people on the right, they bitch about like standardized testing, for like math and science and reading and all these. This is a standardized test.
Yeah,
just for your body. So I don't know, and I don't know why they're bringing it back. I don't know the justification other than like we're gonna make kids healthy again, while RFK like dumps brainworms into the drinking water or whatever the hell he's doing at this point. He's just out gallivanting around. So um,
yeah.
yeah,
Just
I was
canceling
surprised.
cancer research and all that.
Yeah,
Uh,
the
but yeah,
absurd.
I mean, look, this is I want to equate this to the saying, "Give a man a fish, you'll feed him for a day. Teach him how to fish, you'll feed him for the rest of his life." Look, I remember taking these tests in school, and I had no idea what the fuck they were or what they were for. I just remember not enjoying it and wanting it to be over. Like you're not.
Yeah.
This isn't encouraging fitness and nutrition. It's just a fucking test you have to do and put up with. I hated running the mile. I don't like
Oh
running,
yeah.
for
Yeah.
fuck's sake. And to have it as a standardized test and not telling us what it's for, not teaching us the meaning behind training and fitness that I had to learn on my own, mostly from Zach in college, in between blackout
Binge
drinking
drinking.
sessions.
Yeah.
Um,
I was a good coach. I let you binge drink to recover.
yeah. As you can see, I'm an expert now. Uh,
Yeah, 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 dude. Look out for his book, his textbook that's peer reviewed. It's coming out next year. Rick's fitness secrets for high school children.
the trick is the Bloody Marys in the morning. Anyway,
Ah,
so yeah, I mean, it didn't work. I literally got nothing from it. I just remember hating it. That's all I remember
yeah.
from it.
Dude, I'm much the same, and I'm a kid. I've been an athlete since my parents were able to sign me up for sports. I did shit. I did karate. I did soccer. I did baseball. I did basketball. I did all sorts of shit. And when it came to the 1 mile run, I tell you what, I could have ran that thing pretty damn quick. And I just didn't. I didn't
Yeah,
care. I walked with my friends. I don't like distance running either, which is part of the reason I didn't play a lot of those sports. Basketball's fine because it's real short, real short sprints back and forth. That's fine. Um, so some of these tests were fine, right? I don't mind doing like sit ups or push ups. Like that was fine because I was kind of good at them. The sit and reach test is stupid. Like, so you're gonna measure mobility at two fucking joints? Like what? You know, what is the flexibility at your hamstrings? That's what that's measuring essentially. That's the only thing that crosses all the joints being tested there. So that's incredibly stupid. Um, yeah, I just it's arbitrary, right? Like even in the military, they've changed their fitness standards to be closer to military service. So instead of just like raw distance runs and different things, I forget what they replaced, but they replaced one of the tests with having to being able to carry uh like a certain amount of weight a certain distance in a certain time, right? Equivalent to like dragging a body away from a war zone and
yeah,
different things like that. Because just saying, hey, can you do 1,000 push-ups, like that doesn't help you. And I think it's the same thing here. Like if you want to bring back a fitness test, I will definitely hear an argument for it, or I would have heard an argument for it, but not these same tests. They don't, it doesn't make any sense. And again, coming from a dude that can't pass it in an administration where we're like, yeah, like you said, canceling money for cancer research because they're afraid of mRNA because they never cracked open a biology textbook is just so absolutely blind. It's so stupid.
yeah.
I just think it's dumb.
Well, and especially too because look, they don't measure your, like, if you're getting better over time. Like it's supposed to
Mm.
happen every year, and by the time I did it again, I forgot that I did it last time. I don't remember what the fuck my numbers were,
Oh, right, and
and
they weren't
so
keeping track.
they were, yeah, it's not like they were keeping track. And so you're just like, okay, here's where you are. Cool. I have
And
no idea what that means. I don't
yeah, well,
care.
and also, yeah, is that good? Is that bad? Like, I know
Yeah.
I think there's usually like a time you're supposed to run a mile in or like a number of push-ups and all that, but like they never changed from the time I was like 5 until I was like 15 or however long this lasted. It was all the same. So I'm like, okay, but shouldn't I be getting like bigger and better at stuff and like what's going on? You know what I mean? It doesn't make
Right. And
sense.
they never told you, okay, what do you have to do to get better at this? Do you want it? Like, do you want to improve on this? You know, again, it's just an arbitrary point in your fitness level that you are not told why it's important or even
Yeah.
should it be important. And apparently, if you achieve a high enough score, the competitive element of it, you were eligible for a presidential fitness award, which would be fucking rich coming from this guy.
You don't want a Trump Fitness Award?
No.
Just flatly no. The the thing that also one of my thoughts also was, so when he was announcing it, I saw a short clip of he's basically announcing like, "Hey, this is coming back." And standing there behind him, I should have pulled up the list. Like a few NFL players have signed on. Most notably being Harrison Butker, who you might remember being like this weird, like you got to be a trad wife guy who was like a huge dick to women, and Nick Bosa, who's like just I think just screamed the N word at people. He's
Jesus.
like he's like a defensive lineman, I think for the 49ers. I forget now. And there was one other player that I was like, yeah, that one makes sense. It's all the like right wing ones that have been shitty. Those are all the ones that have signed on, including Tua Tagovailoa, the guy who's had about 15 concussions and refuses to wear a guardian cap, which is proven to reduce those. That dude should just retire, or he's going to look like Ace Ventura when they go to the goddamn place and he's wearing the skirt and he's running around acting like he's a lunatic. In the second movie, Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls.
That was the
Shout out
first
to one of
one.
the or no, not When Nature Calls.
That
What
was
the
just
fuck is
a
the sec?
pet detective.
Pet Detective. Yeah, it was in the first one. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're right now. I get those mixed up for some reason. The second one is the bat. That's right,
Yep.
not the dolphin. Um, anyway, trip down memory lane. Um, hearing Trump pronounce Tua's name, hilarious. Recommend everyone find that on YouTube. Trump pronouncing Tua Tagovailoa.
Oh
He's the
no.
my man's fighting for his life up there. Absolutely fighting for his life through that one because he's got to say it. He said the other ones. He's got to say this one. It's kind of like when he announced that one dude's job that he like was like 9 syllables long and he just about I think died.
To
um,
spit on that thing.
yeah, it's a new
Sorry, I can't do it as good as Eric.
yeah, yeah, we can't do the uh fucking I'm racist. Shout out to Eric's Trump impression, dude. It keeps getting better every day, I swear to God. And then but then up there is the like 50 plus year old version of Triple H, the wrestler, who was in my era of wrestling, the Attitude Era of the WWE. That dude looks terrifying. And so if you had told me that someday Triple H would stand in the White House behind the president announcing that the presidential fitness test is coming back, I would have called you a fucking jabroni and
Oh
suck
Jesus.
my nuts. But like Trump tries to say like Triple H, we've been friends forever, whatever, and he like looks around to find him. He goes like, oh, here he is, like as if he hasn't been standing there the whole fucking time. It's like literally as if like we were at my wedding, and I was like, and my best man, Rick. Oh yeah, there. Like when I was doing your wedding speech, to be like, and this guy, my friend that I'm doing a speech for. Oh shit, here he is. I didn't notice him right next to me.
Oh, hello.
Yeah. Oh, when did you get here? I didn't notice you were here. So yeah, yeah. Trump and Triple H have been friends a long time, which probably means they briefly met when Trump was on in that WWE match where he like shaved Vince McMahon's head or whatever the fuck they were doing.
Yeah.
I forget what happened. I don't know. Trump should have just stayed that way. I don't got to stuff him back in that hole. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's I don't know, man. I guess I would, however, pay endless endless amounts of money to see Trump do this, especially the shuttle run where you got to like sprint back and forth between cones and you got to like reach down and touch the cone on the ground. You know how much money I would pay to watch him do that? Like full whatever, like leg braces, catheter in, all that shit. Like I just imagine sprinting back and forth bunch and like his piss bag falls out and like he trips over himself. Like spectacular scenes. Shits his diaper, just fills that bad boy right up.
Yeah.
That's I think it'd be good.
Somebody
We
should
need
tell him
that.
that. He'd get massive ratings, the best ratings, and I know how much he likes ratings.
He
So
only
he should
wants
consider.
ratings.
Yeah, that would be the way to get all the ratings, man. You'd be number one rated. You'd beat the Super Bowl if you did that.
Oh, dude. Well, and here's what you do. You make people pay in like a pay-per-view, and it goes towards the national debt. We will have that bitch paid off overnight.
No, and
Done.
by the time the event is over, the national debt will have surpassed anything that you would have earned by it
Yeah.
because it's increasing that fucking fast.
Well, we do what we can.
Speaking of that, a quick aside: did you see that
Hmm.
they have like a Venmo that you can send
Yeah.
money in to pay the national debt, and it
Yeah.
like I somebody did the calculations on this, and it took them a minute and 20 seconds to get through it.
Mhm.
So I forget what the amount was, but it was like hundreds of thousands of dollars you would need to donate in order to break even with the amount it increased by the time you were done.
Dude, that's spectacular. Like, yeah, I'll just, you know what? I have a spare 150,000 sitting around. I'm gonna give it to the federal government through Venmo because that fucking makes what the fuck. Also, that gives like really big like tip your landlord energy. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
thanks for not fixing my light switch for 6 months. Here's an extra $400 on my rent because I love you. The fuck? If anyone tips or if anyone Venmos the federal government for this, like you are one of the stupidest individuals on the planet. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Like yeah, that is very funny. I,
I
I,
hate that.
yeah,
I fucking hate it so much.
I thought it was fake at first. I
Dude,
1000% thought that shit wasn't real at first, and I'm like, what the? I'm like, no way. This is just a fucking meme, right? This like it's so out there, but like that's what this administration does. Like, if you think of some stupid meme about the federal government, like they're gonna do it. So just don't post it because the Trump administration will pick that shit up and go like, "Oh, this is a good idea." This one here.
yeah. What you should do is make a Venmo that looks almost identical to that. So people accidentally donate to that, and then you can take the money and donate it to people that will be better
Yeah.
for society than Trump.
Donate it to like give people abortion access and like aid in Gaza and shit. Like,
Yeah, but that would be fraud or whatever, and yeah, don't actually do that. But
I mean, hey,
it's a
if
fun thought.
you if like the Venmo was called like the White House Venmo or whatever the fuck it's called, and you change one of those O's to a zero or something, and someone just types in the wrong Venmo, that's not your fault. I'm just saying. I mean, that's honestly how phishing scams work, and it is a scam, but like, I'm sorry if you click on the phishing email and give me like your credit card number and the expiration date and your social security number, that's kind of just on you for being a dipshit. So I don't know. I'm not sorry, I
Yeah,
guess.
that's fair.
Yeah. So to exercise, pun intended, Trump's physical fitness, he climbed on the roof and has now been named the. I'm trying to do an Eric here. Trying to do an Eric segue. I think it's working. Uh, and Trump is now the diddler on the roof. He was up there screaming about new. Jesus Christ, dude! This is how Eric feels every day. God damn it. Uh, um, he is the diddler on the roof, screaming about the nuclear codes. And I forgot what the fuck we were going to talk about here. It was something with the Epstein files. I've completely lost the fucking plot here. He did give the farm away on the Epstein files, as it turns out, though, saying that Virginia Giuffre, I don't know how to pronounce her last name, was stolen, all of this type of stuff. But yeah, he climbed on the roof, he yelled about nuclear codes, and he still fucks kids. And I've lost the plot. Help. Rick, fix it. You should be used to it because that was an Eric segue. No, I mean, for real though, I guess this is one thing that I do want to bring up is that Trump did give the farm away. Like he has now flip-flopped so many times. He said there that he was going to release his list, was going to release it. Uh, then he said that it was coming soon, but then there was no list and he isn't on it. But then there is a list and he might be on it. but Obama put him there. And now he's saying, I didn't know Epstein, but he stole people from Mar-a-Lago. Um, so which one of those are we gonna roll with today? You know what I mean? Like my thing is Trump is a shitty liar. And this is seriously a situation. And hearing him talk about again, it's talking about I don't know Jeffrey Epstein, never knew him, never met him, all this stuff he's saying, post his like, one of his best friends dying in prison, is that he stole people from that Jeffrey Epstein stole young girls from Mar-a-Lago. Um, so I hearing that was a little bit shocking to hear Trump admit it at this point. And I'm just starting to wonder at which point it truly all collapses. You know what I mean? Like, at which point does all of MAGA go up in arms? Because I don't think they're going to be able to keep up when every other day is a new story on this Epstein shit. And
Yeah,
also, I do want to stop talking about the Epstein shit, but we can't because it is a big deal. But
right.
I just want it all to end so we can shut the fuck up and move on. You know,
Oh, I
I'm
remember
almost
what
done.
it was. So there was a poll done.
Oh, yes. There was
Yes.
a poll done and it's all related. See, I knew you'd find it.
Yeah. And the poll discovered, I'll have to look it up here after I say this part, but the poll discovered that among MAGA supporters, if Trump was found to officially be on Epstein's list or involved or, in whatever capacity, that 47% of MAGA people would still support him. That's almost half.
Yeah. That's close enough to half. Years makes no difference as far as I'm concerned. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
in this situation especially, like and this is coming from the party of like half the reason some of these people elected him was to like unleash hell on pedophiles. Like that was their
Yeah.
thing. And now if he's on that list, but I think a lot of it comes from again, this has all the hallmarks of a cult, and I think a lot of the reason they'd still support him, I would have to believe, or I would not have to believe, but I would believe that would come from the conviction that this is all fake, right? Because Trump has laid the groundwork for this to be fake and for them to accept seeing his name on the list and then be able to turn around and go, Hillary fucking put it on there. It's all fake anyway, you know?
Yeah.
No, but it is gross. It's gross. I think it's a thing that I don't know. I mean, I want to say like this proves it's a cult, but that's not still not true. We've seen other instances. We've talked about it on the podcast before, where people's families have been deported. The one dude's wife was deported, and he said like, "Yeah, I'm kind of pissed off, but I still support the guy." And things like that is just it's so wild to me to say. Um, so I guess I'm also not super surprised by the results of the poll or by the claims made in the poll, but I'm grossed out. I don't
Yeah.
like it. It's
Yeah, man.
fucked
It's
up.
like, I don't know. You keep thinking like, oh, this will surely make them snap the fuck out of it. And I don't know why I keep getting surprised when they're not. Because yeah, I just so here it is. A poll by research and analytics company Leger, Leger,
Mm.
asked Republican voters if Donald Trump was officially implicated in Jeffrey Epstein's sex trafficking activities, would this make you more likely to vote for another party, or would it affect your vote for Donald Trump? 47% said it would not affect my vote for Donald Trump,
Jesus Christ.
with another 26% saying they're not sure or would prefer not to say. So who the fuck knows where
Mm.
they're at?
Well, and this should be a hard no. There
Yeah,
should be no wish-wash here. Like there shouldn't be any wishy-washy shit. And again, especially when I think of the sum total of Donald Trump's involvement with Jeffrey Epstein and the sum total of the claims against him as far as being a sexual assailant. And when you take the sum total of all the gross shit he said on like Howard Stern's show about girls in the US, Miss USA pageants, Miss Teen USA, I should say, Miss Teen USA, about his own daughter when his daughter was like a year old, this shit started. So when you take all of that together, that's not a good person. Like, dude, I'm fucking sorry, man. Like, I love you to death, but if you had a daughter and you started talking about how bad you wanted to fuck your daughter, and then someone said, "Yeah, Rick's on this list for pedophiles, and he goes to a fucking island and he fucks kids," I'd be like, "Yeah, I just believe that on its face, and I'm not going to talk to that guy anymore, and I'm certainly not going to elect him to the highest office in the land." So I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why this is a hard choice for anyone. Like,
Yeah.
turn your back on the 80-year-old guy. This 80-year-old fat piece of shit. Turn your back on him. Fuck's sake. It shouldn't be this hard.
Yeah.
Guy that acts tough. The guy that acts super tough and like a bad motherfucker who couldn't finish his own fitness test because
Yeah.
he'd be too busy fucking kids. Um, Speaking of the party of people who want to fuck kids, they also want to cheat to win because it's the only way they can win, despite the fact that their base is absolutely fucking delusional. We have Texas. We have Texas doing Texas shit. I think at this point we could just call this Texas shit, despite it's kind of a lot of places, particularly I think red states, but I don't know the stuff on that, so don't quote me on that. But Texas wants to gerrymander the shit out of Texas so that there's they gain what, 5 seats, something like that
Yeah.
in Congress.
Yeah. They want to get 5 seats out of redistricting in the directly in the middle in between census cycles.
Mm. So, and the thing too about that, so there's a couple wild things about this. First of all, that it's happening. Second of all, that Trump has directly basically said, "Get me 5 more seats."
Yep.
I mean, on Truth Social,
Yep.
Truth Central, he he calls for 5 seats, and it just sounds, it's like he's playing in the exact same key as "Find Me," you know, however many votes in Georgia, when he made
Yep.
that phone call. Go just
Yeah.
just find me the votes. It kind of sounds similar.
The difference is the audible lack of spines that these motherfuckers have in Texas. Nobody can seem to stand up to them. Like to the point where Dems are leaving Texas to avoid a vote, and these spineless fucking Republicans are calling for their arrest and trying to pass a motion to get them arrested and detained and brought back so that they can hold the vote. So they're mad, like they get all fucking butthurt when Dems leave, so they don't have to vote on stuff. But when the Republicans in the federal Congress decide to leave because they don't want to vote on the Epstein files anymore, then it's okay.
Oh, it's fine to completely just end a session of Congress to protect pedophiles.
Right.
That's just business as usual.
Yeah. Whose side are you on again? you know?
Well, I mean,
Fuck,
to be
man.
fair, Greg Abbott can't stand up, literally. Uh, and he
yeah.
deserves every bit of that. Um, I don't care. I'm going straight to hell for it. Greg Abbott can bite a curb for all I'm concerned. The fact that they're willing to try to arrest like members of the legislature and haul them back from wherever they flew off to hold a vote to fuck them over should tell you
Right.
so much about this. I mean, everyone who's ever bitched, I was like, I mean, dude, we're talking about Republicans. Most of these fuckers like watch sports, right? I mean, they're manly men and they watch football, right? Whether they like it or not, whether they're closeted or not, because they crash grinder at the RNC. Um, they're still watching football and they're pretending they like it for the sports ball, but they really like the tight asses and those tight fucking pants. But
The tight ends.
see, because that's the position in football and a reference to asses. That's why it's my favorite tight end, by the way, ever of all time was Jake Butt. That was his name. His name was Jake Butt. He was a tight end for the University of Michigan, and then I think I got drafted to the Denver Broncos and played for a few years. Jake
and
Butt.
the reason he did so good was when everyone read his jersey, they all started laughing and he just ran into the end zone.
Oh yeah, no, dude, put this fucker in the Hall of Fame. I don't care if he had a Hall of Fame career or not. Put him in the fucking Hall of Fame. All time, one of those all time, like, fucking names, right up there with like General Booty and stuff. Like, oh, college football names, my favorite. And I've totally lost the plot, but it just blows my mind. I mean, it is the same thing as like they're playing the refs, right? Is what the point I was trying to get to. And then we started talking about ass, but
Sorry.
we Oh no, it's totally on me. I they are trying to play the refs. They're trying to bribe the refs. They're trying to like arrest the refs and whatever so that they win the game. I mean, it's full blown like it's Tom Brady's deflate gate on fucking steroids here in the
Yeah,
legislature to fuck over the entire state of Texas. And it's just because if Texas was redistricted fairly, it wouldn't be so dark red. It's a fairly red state, but you have huge cities like Houston and Austin that are fairly blue. You know, again, like the
yeah,
big metropolitan areas. Houston's one of the biggest cities in the country. You know, if you redistrict
yeah,
fairly, it becomes more of a purpley state. And they obviously don't like that.
yeah. It's already the most one of the most heavily gerrymandered states
Mm,
in in the union. You know, and speaking of that, most of the gerrymandered states, most of the most heavily gerrymandered states are red states. And to all these
correct.
motherfuckers that are bitching about, oh, the Dems are going to gerrymander, the only reason the Republicans are is because the Dems have. Who voted in 2021 to end gerrymandering? There was a
Yeah,
bill brought up in fucking Congress again. You can look it up. Every single Democrat voted to end gerrymandering, and every single Republican opposed ending gerrymandering. So shut the fuck up.
it's just the fact that these like it's such a wild trickle down effect. Trickle down economics doesn't work, but what does work is when they rig the game in their favor and then all of their policies are essentially thrust on people that don't want them, right? I mean, I think and this is stuff like I don't have numbers or proof for any of this. It's just me kind of like pontificating a little bit, but like my dad always grew up telling me that we are like a center right country, but I don't really believe that anymore. I really
No,
think this country is starting to lean left and towards some of those policies, not far left. Like, I don't know if, you know, everyone would necessarily vote for like universal health care and certain things like that. But I think that people lean towards things like common sense gun control. They might lean towards a better health. I mean, everyone wants a better healthcare system, and I think a lot of people might lean towards trying, you know, a single payer type of system. There's all these different things that people would want, and I think a lot of people see that these progressive policies would help them, but they can't even vote in progressive people, and then the Democrats as a party just keep dropping the fucking ball in the end zone. You know what I mean?
yeah,
With their messaging and all this other stuff that like, I don't know, when midterms come up, we'll talk more about that probably, but this is just but it's just this example of like they have stolen the game from you fully. The game is fully rigged against you like a casino, but they're not bankrupting it like Trump did because apparently there are some functional people with brain cells clearly like running the show here.
yeah,
Um, it's just it's so stupid. And it reminds me too, you know, you referenced that, you know, some Democrats said, well, particularly Gavin Newsom, who's definitely positioning himself as like this bad motherfucker for president in 2028, I think. He kind of said, try me. He said, fucking come at me, bro. I'll gerrymander the shit out of California and I'll get us like 9 more seats because we can do this or whatever the hell. And then that's a problem, right? It's 1,000%. There's a neighbor kid I have. There's a neighbor kid I have, and every time he plays sports, or you know, I guess this is the image I have of him in my head because one summer I heard it constantly next door. There's this neighbor kid that would come over and they'd play, you know, football, basketball in the yard. And I swear to God, if I had my windows open or if I was outside, every 3 minutes, this kid is screaming foul at the top of his lungs. Like literally just foul, whatever, you hit me on the arm or foul, you know, holding if they were playing football or like whatever. He's just calling fouls on people all over. Which by the way, like, dude, when I played like football, there ain't no fouls. When I play basketball, like right now, like with my brother, there ain't no fouls. Like I don't call fouls and people go, you can call fouls. I say, mm-mm. No, we in the streets, bro. We're not doing this. And it's the
yeah,
same goddamn thing. The Republicans say, yes, this is how the game is played. The Democrats try and say, okay, we'll play it your way then. And they call foul. They throw the fucking flag. They say penalty. You can't do that. This is insane. Blah, 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 blah. And talk like they're not just complete degenerates.
yeah.
It's too much.
It is.
Fucking, it's absolutely too much. So I know there is I don't know. There's nothing that I have like as far as like sources for it, but you know, if anyone in Texas listens to this, I know that there is gatherings going on. There is protests going on around this. I was actually
Yeah.
listening to shout out David Pakman's show from today, the 6th of August. And he had a guest on who was talking about doing some of the protests, some of the gatherings down at the Capitol, I believe, in Texas. So if you listen and you're from there, and we know, I think one of you listened to an episode once a long time ago, but if you're in there, feel free to find that shit. I don't know where, just go find it. And this, I think this act does actually spin really well into what I think is probably one of the biggest topics that I wanted to talk about today, because it's all very authoritarian. This is very fucking dear leader type of shit. Some of you will know because it happened, God, as of recording this a week ago, maybe. Honestly, I forget because every time is a flat circle, and I just don't know when things happen anymore because it's just nonsense. But the job numbers were revised for May and June, and they were revised down a great deal. Um, between the 2 months, we lost. The numbers were revised down, I should say, 258,000 jobs. So I don't remember what the final numbers are off the top of my head. And the numbers for July came in pretty low, 73,000 jobs added to the economy, which is starting to add to a increasing number of indicators that the economy is slowing down. So what Dear Leader does, he does what Dear Leader does, and he fired the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics, which just gives them numbers.
Yeah.
Trump has spun this weave about how it's all fake and bullshit, and they tried to help Kamala Harris, around the election, all this bullshit. But numbers get revised. That's what happened, and Dear Leader didn't like it. So this
Uh,
is gross to
he
me.
he fucking shot the messenger, you
Yeah,
know.
literally.
And again, just one messenger. Like this this person didn't come up with these numbers all by themselves,
Mm,
right? This is a whole system set up to figure out actual numbers. That's why they get revised. That like it's a whole team of people working on this. And so to just go after the person at the top shows you don't understand how that works.
mm,
Okay?
100%.
Because the numbers won't change even if you put someone else in there because that top person relies on this whole team of people to figure out the numbers. How the fuck would okay. Sorry, this is I have so much fucking shit going on in my head all at once. This is just like fucking COVID all over again. This is just like all of the um what the fuck is it? Anyway, we'll go with COVID. So if you don't test for COVID, COVID isn't there. This is the
Mm,
mentality of a fucking toddler. If you don't look at the jobs numbers, we're doing good in the jobs numbers. It's just ignoring
right.
reality. That is the stance of the Republican Party. If we're doing bad, it's not my fault. Don't look at the numbers. We're doing fine. Shut up. No you. That's all they fucking do.
No, it's like this lack of object permanence for actual
Yeah.
statistics. And again,
It's
the thing
playing
is, like,
peekaboo.
yeah, dude, I got your nose. Like, it's that whole thing. Like, and it's so stupid. It's a thing where, like, look, yeah, like you said, there's a whole team of people. They gather the numbers, revising jobs number. It happened under Biden, and there was a
Yep.
point where Biden had numbers revised down more than this, right? It just happens. They get some preliminary. That's why numbers come out like immediately. It's not because they like finish counting all of a sudden. It's because they get an estimate out, and then the estimate becomes more accurate. They revise the numbers.
Yep.
This happens, but I mean, it's just I feel like it's another thing that they're trying. I mean, they're trying to grab control of the narrative of everything, right? And
Yeah.
do the thing where no, everything is good. Economy is so hot. Everything's just fucking blazing hot, on fire. Everyone's making money, hand over fist. Everything's perfect. Don't look at the man behind the curtain type of shit.
Yeah.
And this is like, I think this is one of, I mean, sure, recency bias, but this might be like the biggest sort of authoritarian act down this part of the path that I can think of, right? Like specifically down the path of I'm going to control the narrative. Like, I mean, they're working on the whole state-run TV thing. They're working on all this other stuff. They're cutting funding for like NPR, all these, PBS, all this shit. But this is the thing where like literally someone said something that Trump didn't like, and he just said, "You gone." And I
Right.
like, at what point does it become, "Oh, you said something I don't like, go to the gulag." Like, you just end up in alligator Alcatraz. Like,
Right.
at what point does that become we imprison people? So now, and my thing too is like, someone, I mean, of course, there's an intern person in there. They're probably going to get a super hyper loyalist in there if they don't, if that's not the person already. So, can we trust the numbers? You know what I mean? Like, so when we get August job numbers, can we trust that? Are the numbers that were revised down, are those going to be re-revised? Because if they truly are wrong, if they're truly the wrong numbers, right? Let's try and do this and pretend Trump is right about something for once in his miserable life. And those numbers are wrong and it's a big conspiracy to help Democrats. The numbers should be revised back up, right?
Yeah.
And the number for and when we get revised numbers then for July, that number should be revised way up. So when those numbers aren't revised up, and when August comes back shitty because we're like on the precipice of falling off a ledge here, what happens to that messenger that they put in? Who is again likely to be a Trump loyalist, because that's the pattern here, is it's just someone loyal to me, qualifications be damned.
Yeah.
I don't trust the numbers now. I will not trust a single number anymore.
No. Not unless it's independently verified. Like
Sure.
again, if there's a any Trump sycophant telling me a number or any statistic or anything, I don't believe you. I have no reason to believe you. You don't deserve the benefit of the doubt
Not
because
anymore.
you've shown where your loyalties lie. You're not loyal to reality. You're loyal to a man who wants you to lie for his benefit.
No, it's again, it's this thing where like, give him a chance isn't an argument anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because in the first, it's oh, give him a chance. Maybe he'll, wow, you're just saying Orange Man bad, and it's like, dude, we've been giving him a chance, and
Yeah.
both times he tipped the goddamn world off a cliff. Like he tipped the whole economy off the cliff the first time, and this time it is just significantly going to be worse for a multitude of reasons. One of which is probably that he's just legitimately more insane because he's like however much older and his brain is just fucking mashed potatoes and scrambled eggs
Yep.
covered in ketchup. I can only assume based on his steak eating habits.
Yeah.
So I just, and if we don't have, that's the other thing that's frightening is like, if we don't have real reliable numbers, the people who need to know what the hell is going on don't know what's going on.
Yep.
Right, so whether it's good people left over in the government, people trying to make business decisions, like, for their business or their corporation that they run, even if it's for honest intentions, man, like, they aren't going to know and understand, and this could affect all sorts of shit, right? I mean, it could
Yes.
affect all sorts of, I mean, they could use it as a justification for whatever they want, at this point. "Ah, jobs are way up, all these unemployment, this is all fraud, no more unemployment." You know,
Right.
I mean, you can slippery slope this thing all the way into hell, essentially, but that's are
Yeah.
we going anywhere else? I don't know where this ends up other than literally just the ninth circle of hell.
I would argue we're already there.
It
Uh,
feels like it. Fuck.
you know, it yeah, but like you said, this once you start fudging the numbers, again, the numbers are there for a reason. We rely on them to figure out how our economy is doing, or at least a section of it, and make decisions based on that. When you have the wrong information, you arrive at the wrong fucking answer. That leads to more instability, more people getting hurt, more people losing their fucking everything they've worked for. You know, shit will get hard really fast once this shit goes is no longer reliable. You know, if interest rates go the wrong direction, all of a sudden inflation is going through the roof and your money's worthless, and you just retired. Guess what? You got to go back to work and work the
Yep.
rest of your life. Have fun.
Well, and you have, I mean, and on that note, even on the interest rates, is Trump is now has been pressuring Jay Powell to change interest rates. He says
Yep.
the economy's on fire, like it's doing great. This thing, why are you not pulling the interest rates down? That's what you do when the economy's great. Okay, but that's a whole organization that's looking at things and going, yeah, the economy sucks. Like, we're not gonna
Yeah.
change interest rates because we don't succumb to pressure, we succumb to arithmetic, right? And especially, like, when you look at jobs numbers, this is literally a plus or minus N number of jobs added. It's probably not even this wild thing, this big wild, like, formula they're running this through. They're gathering numbers gained information, they're gathering numbers lost information from somewhere, and they're coming out with an estimate. That's it.
Yeah.
It's not this hard. This is not math that people shouldn't be able to do on their own at home as long as they have the source. And I'm sure we could have a source in here, but I would hope that at least some of our listeners, even though they listen to us and we are kind of knuckle draggers, could go on the internet and Google where to find some of this stuff. And I'm sure there's like information that is more granular than just an overall gains and losses.
Yeah.
So it just that's where too, like, I kind of feel like, if these numbers get fudged, that might trick the Fed into doing something, right? If these numbers are full of, all these Trump loyalists and things like that, and they're feeding the Fed all of these numbers, as I presume they sort of do, and the Fed looks at it and goes, okay, yeah, this all looks good. We can drop interest rates because this is the only thing we know. This is supposed to be our single point of truth.
Right.
So if that's broken, you're now raising or lowering interest rates based on like, fake data and kind of like you said, put garbage in, you get garbage out. Math does exactly what you want and nothing more and nothing less. It does exactly what you tell it to. Same thing with
Yep.
computers. They do exactly what they tell you to in the stupidest way possible, which is why math and computers are stupid. None of you should touch them. says a software guy.
Unless you need a new one because of tariffs.
Yeah, unless you need a new one because of tariffs, then please go buy one right now.
Yeah.
I need a new one, honestly, but that just went out the fucking window. Um, but no, it's terrifying. And again, what's next? Like I kind of think that too. Like, what's next? Like this time it's jobs numbers. So what's the next, you know, economic indicator that Trump gets in that he doesn't like and he finds a person to shoot,
Yep.
or proverbially, I guess, shoot this time around. So I don't know. That's why I think this is a huge authoritarian step for me. Like it
Yeah.
doesn't maybe seem as bad, but like on its face compared to some of the shit he's done, but this is really fucking bad in my opinion.
Yep. I
I
agree
don't.
100%.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't want to live under a authoritarian like discount Eric did as discussed in last week's
Yeah.
last week's episode. Because I can't just start a GoFundMe and say I said racial slurs at work and they fired me and please give me money now.
Yeah.
The whole getting handouts thing goes right over their head, dude. They don't get it.
Yep. No. No, they don't.
But yeah, yeah, it was a lot of stuff. There's not a lot of details on a lot of stuff in this one, but like the craziness hasn't stopped. I think we just officially crossed 6 months into the Trump administration too, which
Oh my
like
god.
it's felt simultaneously like 4 decades and about 4 minutes. You know what I mean?
Dude, so much shit has happened.
Dude,
Like we're not even mad at the same people anymore other than Trump. Like I mean we
yeah.
are, but like they're not important anymore. Like Elon, like he's just fucked right off at least for
Dude,
now,
the
you
feud
know.
with Elon that was so huge feels like
Yeah.
another lifetime ago. Like
Yeah.
I don't even think about it. I fucking forgot, for all intents and
Yep.
purposes.
Yeah. A- And again, that's not to say that Elon's no less of a piece of shit today than he was at any point we were talking about him, but he's just not relevant at the moment. And
Right.
there's so much other shit going on, you know. I don't know. It's a whirlwind.
It's hard. It's hard, dude. It's hard to keep up and it's a little bit hard to be American on the internet. This is kind of like a thing that I've experienced. People usually say they're sorry for you. I feel like in most of the circles I'm in,
Yeah,
got a couple of Canadian friends that I talk to that just go like, "Hey, man, that sucks. Things are great up here."
yeah, yeah. The best I can hope for now is that this sort of triggers something in the sane part of America that makes the pendulum swing harder the other way once
Mhm.
this is all over, and we can hopefully recover and rebuild. That's the only thing keeping me holding on, because like if it doesn't
Yeah.
do that, man, I don't know what the fuck we're gonna do.
If it doesn't correct really hard after this 4 years, like, immediately correct really, really hard and fast, I don't know, man. I mean, already, like, these 3 years or these 4 years that are going on right now, the damage from this is gonna be astronomical to begin with, right?
Yes.
It's going to go on for the rest of our lives,
Yes.
um, which is sad because 'cause I'd like to believe I have a fair amount of life left, in me in terms of years, like, life as far as having a soul and caring about things, I don't know if that might I'm gonna end up in a padded cell with too much more of this shit, but but the damage is done, so if we don't swing super hard back, it's over. The one thing I was thinking of kind of, on my drive to work, I get a lot of windshield time now, long drive to
Yeah.
work, and I actually listen NPR did a podcast episode, the NPR Politics podcast, talking about, like, will MAGA survive after Trump was like that was the headline of the whole podcast, and that was the discussion. And when I saw that, I listened to it, good episode, I think they all make good points. But my initial thought that I had, and I guess extra bonus topic for everyone, I'll get your short opinion sort of on this. So, I kind of was thinking that so MAGA and Trump is kind of like or I'm wondering if it won't be like kind of the Obama movement, right? Like the Dems had Barack Obama, they caught this lightning in a bottle, for 8 years where everyone got charged the fuck up, everyone got behind Barack Obama in this movement and whatever, and now that Barack Obama has left, the Democrats are floundering. They don't know what to do anymore. And they tried to catch that lightning again by trying to prop up Joe Biden, but like I'm sorry, dude. Like 70 some odd year old white guy is not 50 some year old black dude with like so much fucking smoothness who could like talk the pants off of a goddamn whatever. It's not the same. So I'm kind of wondering, and we won't find out, and I don't have a lot of conviction in this necessarily, but I wonder if once Trump goes away, not dies, but like his political career is over, if the MAGA movement doesn't kind of do the same thing. Because we haven't seen, like when Trump is on the ballot, Trump gets a ton of support, but down ballot races don't get the same, like down ballot Republicans don't get the same support, even when Trump throws his support behind them, and even when they throw kind of their messaging and they try and put their messaging around Trump.
Yeah.
Um, so that's kind of where I feel like that maybe will collapse. Now, if Don Jr. gets elected or some shit, maybe I become wrong.
Oh
But
my god.
um,
Don't
yeah, I know.
say
Let's not even
that.
fucking. I know. I can't. I'm knocking on wood. I don't want to put that fucking evil in the air. I shouldn't say that shit. Um,
Ugh.
but yeah, that's. I don't know. That was my initial thought when I think about like MAGA post Trump presidency.
Yeah. But I mean, I hate to be the cynic here, but
Oh wait, you mean for the first time on this podcast, you're gonna?
yeah. Yeah, exactly.
It's weird. You haven't done this
I know.
before, I'm shocked.
I know usually I'm the shining light
Yeah.
of optimism, but
You are my sunshine, Rick.
um, but the guy is spending so much money redecorating the White House
Oh, in the
with
worst way.
with the rose garden being demolished and the patio put in and then the ballroom being built on. I mean, the
Oh,
guy is acting like he's not going anywhere anytime soon. The
yeah.
cynic in me is pointing that out.
Well, and that's fair. It's fair. I mean, the dude's leaving his mark on this historical building. He's putting on the tackiest, shittiest like, this is some shit that you build in The Sims to be a fucking moron. Like, you don't know any better. You're like, "What's a rich guy look like? Gold every" we have like I said, he's fucking gold member. Like, he's just a fucking cartoon. But
Yeah,
you're right. I mean, he's at the very least propping this up to even if he's not leaving, he is kinda seeming to leave his mark in a way that he wants this to be he's not thinking about being gone as in dead, but, like, he wants this to be his new like, this is where the family is, right? And he leaves his
right.
mark on everything all over the place. He's just, like, digging in his ass and leaving shit stains all over the walls because it'll be there forever.
It's Mar-a-Lago, DC.
Ugh. Dude, he's gonna rename the fucking White House
Yeah.
at some point. He's gonna rename it some stupid shit.
Ugh.
Fucking Trump house. I don't know. At this point, dude, if he like have you seen the render kind of like what the ballroom will look like from the outside of the White
Yeah,
House, like how it looks so fucking it makes the White House look so dumb because it's this giant you could
yeah,
fit the White House like in the fucking ballroom and it's just off to one side and it looks dumb as and what are you doing there?
yeah, I
We've
fucking hate it, man.
the White House hasn't needed a ballroom in like 150 fucking years or whatever, and all of a sudden we need this giant golden ballroom for what? Like,
Right.
no, man, he's trying to turn it into Trump Tower 2.0 or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll find out in T minus 3-ish years. I guess whether he stays or goes or his I mean his involvement in the 2028 campaign will be interesting because even if he can't run and even if he's not going to stay, he will not shut the hell up. So it'll be interesting to see what he does in terms of like the like primaries and everything.
Yeah.
I think it'll be spicy.
Yep.
Fucking live tweet from the toilet. All of the Republican debates live from getting my piss bag replaced. I think Ted Cruz is stupid again, and his
Speaking of
wife looks like a
ballroom.
pig. Yeah, speaking of ballroom, my balls are out in this room. This just in, they can touch the floor. Oh, disgusting. Speaking of dunking your balls in some water, those of you who live up north in Minnesota or are familiar with Minnesota know that the boundary waters between here and Canada are very important. And they're nice and they're pretty, and you should go there and visit them, including all of our beautiful state parks. Donald Trump wants to strip mine them. Well, Donald Trump and all of his friends that'll make money from strip mining them, so on and so forth, whatever you get it. So there's a petition. We'll drop the petition in the description here of this video. We haven't had some real activism time for a minute, but one thing we can do here, there is this savetheboundarywaters.org website. There's a petition on there that you could sign and send to your representatives. And of course, you can also call them. We've shouted out the 5 calls app before. Or if you just have their number memorized by now, go ahead and just dial it, whatever. And
Yep.
tell them you don't want the boundary waters strip mined. I mean, legit, it's timely. Legitimately, I went up there, went up to some, not to the boundary waters, but to a state park for the first time in a long time. Hit up Falls up near, just past Duluth, Minnesota, and the shit's gorgeous. It's incredible. And I tell you what would not look good there is a fucking Walmart with a parking lot and a giant parking garage. So
Giant hole in the ground with copper being
yeah,
taken out of it.
yeah, giant copper mine that we're all forced to work in because all the jobs are just that. Because we tariffed out everyone else. So yeah, that's what we got. The boundary waters thing, and of course, like I mentioned before, if you are in Texas, there's some work to do in Texas. I know there's events going on, but I do not have an actual reference for them. And this episode was a little bit ugly and brought to you by the fact that I have an orange cat, and it has not been his turn with the brain cell ever in his entire lifetime. He woke me up too early, and I'm very tired. And Eric wasn't here to steer the ship. So please send hate mail to Eric specifically at thewhitestnoisepod@gmail.com, and we will read it to him live on air if you send us one.
Yes.
Um, I think that's all I got. Any last words, Rick?
Uh, I think you summed it up beautifully.
Excellent. Thank you. Also, you can follow us on Instagram. We'll drop the Instagram somewhere. I think it is just white_noise_pod on Instagram. We're going to post some dank memes made by yours truly. I do not apologize for the severe number of Macho Man memes you are going to see. If you don't like Macho Man, fuck you. He's elbow dropping Hulk Hogan in hell right now. So that's that. So, anyway, on that note, this has been White Noise, your favorite podcast. I love you. Goodbye.
Goodbye. I actually forgot what we were gonna talk about here. Unlike Eric, I will cut this out.
No, don't. It's funnier if you don't. No.